Welcome to Focus on the Falls. A conversation with Corey. Superintendent Corey Golla is with us. Thanks for making some time. I know this is a very busy time of the year for you guys.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Congratulations. I mean, this has been an unprecedented year, and that word's been overused probably a little bit, but where we are today, paired with where we were at the beginning of the year, it's rather remarkable what the district's been able to accomplish. You must be proud of your teams.
Absolutely, it's exciting. With days to go, we're seeing student results that have exceeded what we ever imagined was going to be possible at the beginning of the school year. We're clearly in a place of good health. The county's getting ready to announce the end of the emergency, and we've got all these end-of-year events that are with the weather cooperating. We've got great things happening with students in athletics. We've got a nice graduation planned outdoors, and students are just unwinding the year in a very positive, normal fashion.
We're going to dive into a lot of that success and what lies ahead, but I want to ask you where we are today with a couple of weeks left in the school year. Different districts are doing different things when it comes to wearing masks, and they're evaluating and thinking through the process. Where are things in Menominee Falls?
Yeah, we continue to layer off our mitigation efforts. So recently we now have students mixing their cohorts more, playing outside more. We've got all of those outdoor events happening. We've given a lot of relief on the mask for anything outdoors. So essentially nothing outdoors is wearing mask unless it's required for athletics. We are still holding on to mask policies. That's still indoors. That's still recommended by the CDC, by our county health, who you know is a great partner to us. And we expect to continue with those masks through this year. And then we're working with the board on what's this going to look like for our summer session.
I want to ask you about that partnership because you have been steadfast in making sure that you and other districts work with Waukesha County, with leaders there, with health leaders, with academic leaders. Can you talk about the partnership with Waukesha County and how important that's been to this year?
Yeah, what's made them a critical partner for us is they obviously have the expertise in infectious disease and community health, and they engage with us weekly and they listen. So they have that expertise. We understand how to make this work in schools. So this ability to just come together and make decisions in the best interest of our kids that keeps them healthy, keeps our employees healthy, but allows us to function in a normal way. And the results on both the health end and the performance end for our students has shown that has been just a remarkable partnership, and it's made all the difference for us.
I think it's remarkable how little issue there's been in Menominee Falls, knock on wood. I know you're an optimistic guy, but when you look back at the school year, are you surprised in any way at how relatively smoothly it went and how little issue you had on the COVID front?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have just great team, great community, great kids, but when I look back at the worries, the threats that we were facing that were both short-term related to health, mid and long-term related to academic performance, just the ability to keep our employees whole and keep them with us and maintain that culture that we started with through the pandemic and now as we come out. There was a lot that we had to overcome, and I couldn't be more proud that with the partnership and with the work of everyone across the district and with the support of our community to just make these moves and be agile, that we're seeing the results that we are and in the way that we are this year.
I'm going to ask you about academics in a second, but a question about that cultural part of it. You know, there's a great culture here in the district, and that culture was under threat because of the nature of dealing with a pandemic. How did you manage to not only thrive on the academic side, but make sure that the culture and the way people feel and the relationships that are developed stayed nurtured and stayed intact?
We've learned a lot, and it's just reiterated the importance of communication, of telling people what we're up against, being honest with them, letting them know the options we're considering, forecasting decisions. So with all of our stakeholders, our employees, our students, our families, our community as much as possible, that's made a big difference. Listening to people and our employees, very early on, it was clear that they expected us to make decisions that, yes, are going to help students succeed, but are also going to keep their students healthy and safe and keep themselves and their families healthy and safe. So we've tried to not do anything sudden that would put any of that in jeopardy.
I'm glad you mentioned the community because a year like this doesn't succeed without the partnership and working closely with the community. How's the community reacted to this unusual situation and how the district responded?
It's been positive, and you know, we see that in the feedback we get. We just every year, we do surveys of our families. We actually have the third highest parent engagement survey results we've had since we started doing surveys in 2013.
Wow.
And that just, in the specific questions we're looking at, they feel their students are safe. They see our concern for the well-being of their students. They know that their academic performance is important to them. So I can't stress how important the partnership's been with our community through all of this, of just listening to them, responding to their needs, and just communicating as much as we could based on the information that we had.
All right, we're going to talk about the summer and all that stuff, but I want to get to the academic part of this because this is really amazing to me. You guys continuously monitor how from an academic standpoint, things are going. How have students done, especially the little ones? There's a lot of concern about how the pandemic would impact them.
Remarkable, just absolutely remarkable. It just shows the resilience of our students, the support that our families have for our teachers, and just what our teachers and our employees have done. We're seeing at the secondary level, our high school and middle school students, the grades are on track. Our students are getting their college applications in. They're proceeding as we'd expect. At the elementary level, we have even more information, looking at classroom assessments in math and reading. Our youngest students, 4K to second grade, have actually had the most remarkable, the best scores they've had in reading.
Wow.
In our history since we started
Really?
continuous improvement. So that's not just that's any year, COVID or no COVID. That
Wow.
has certainly exceeded our expectations. We can't be more proud of that.
Is there a silver lining in that maybe the district learned how to do some things that you never thought you'd need to learn how to do? Are there things that you accomplished or learned that you'll be able to carry forward post-pandemic?
Yeah, just doing check-ins even with our teachers and our leadership teams as we wind down the year. A conversation that we're having is, what have we learned about in this past year? What we've learned is communication matters, that partnership with families of giving them very specific information about how do I support my student at home. When I'm reading with them, what does that look like? What sort of questions can I ask? We want to build on that, and really, we want to become the best there is at early literacy. And I think the lessons we've learned this year, combined with 10 years of continuous improvement, I think we're ready for that moonshot.
What does summer likely look like in the district?
I think our summer session, it's fully staffed. We've got typical numbers coming in. We do expect that's likely the right time to look at a voluntary mask policy. Given what the county, the moves they're making, given our extremely low numbers here recently in terms of COVID. So we're excited to have what should feel like a very normal summer session.
Have buses and things that the rest of us who don't have kids in school rarely think about been a challenge?
They have. I mean, buses has always been a high risk because of the number of students, how close they are. It's impossible to social distance. Substitute teaching, those substitute teachers have been critical to us. A big reason we don't want to make a sudden move at the end of the year regarding masks is we need our substitute teachers to show up, and they will not show up if they don't feel safe. Our subs have felt safe. They've been showing up all year, and that's been critical to us. All of those things matter for just continuing to keep operations running at a high level.
What is graduation going to look like at the high school?
I think graduation's we've traditionally been outdoors, and what we didn't get the opportunity to do last year is we've actually moved it to an evening so the students can graduate under the lights. So we expect to have the graduation that we've always had, and a bit better with nighttime. And because of conditions, we don't expect to be putting extreme, if any, limits on the number of people that can attend graduation.
Corey, you alluded earlier to the recent parent survey. What jumped out at you when you think about the survey?
I think just the confidence that they showed in us, the recognition that this was hard. We know not everybody agrees with every decision we've made, but what we saw was they understood that this was difficult, but that we anchored our decisions in the county, in the experts in those areas, and we communicated with them. So we always learn things we can improve on, but we really saw confidence, and that emboldened us to let's finish this year strong, and let's finish this year together.
Your hair, I think, is a little grayer than when we did the one of these 12 months ago, and I know it's been a challenging year. Are there ways that it's been a rewarding year because of where we are as we sit today?
Yeah, I would say it's been more rewarding than not, because when we looked at what we were up against, we thrived. Despite all of that, we thrived. So I really believe we've raised the bar on what's possible. We understand how to communicate. We know that we've got an army of improvers across our system, that people at every level, in every position, just understand how to do their jobs well and are empowered to make changes and make decisions. So I can't wait to see what the future holds when we don't have to spend all of our energy trying to solve those problems. We can solve, other problems and move our students forward.
Well, congratulations on a successful year. Man, it's been like climbing a mountain that you never get to the peak, but we're at the peak, and you've kept students and staff safe, and the numbers for learning and academics are off the charts, so congratulations.
Thanks, John. We're proud. Couldn't be more proud of the team, the community, and all of our kids.
He is Menominee Falls Superintendent Corey Golla.